Okay, this is recording number 3. The first time I didn't have it in the I wasn't in the full editor. It was just the game screen, so I couldn't show you my world outliner. And the second time I realized I didn't select the microphone setting for the video, so it was just 10 minutes of my screen bouncing around with you probably having no idea what was going on. So, anyways, hopefully this time it's all good to go. Um, this is my level. This is the where the player starts. Obviously, as you can see, the little capsule with the first person camera here. Um, let's hop right into it real quick. Okay, so it's kind of a dark setting. Um, I wanted it to be that way because it was my thought was just more of like a obviously a dark, aggressive, maybe like a curious type setting. Like the player was in search of uh, something that was um, bad. I don't know. Anyways, so with this warehouse type setting, most facilities like that have like a check-in room that people come into, which is like a little tiny office, and that was kind of my general thought for this. That's why I put the little shelf with the statue, a little bench, um, make it kind of feel like a almost like a waiting room or um, something like that. Um, so right here we have a windowed wall that if for some reason an enemy was over in this section of the map, the player could look out um, and take down or um, something of that sort. Here's our little doorway into the first section of our big warehouse or factory type building. Um, it it's pretty open, but I have two objects right here that look like structural pillars that may have fallen down or something of that sort to give some kind of depth to this side of the map. Um, Maybe something for the player to hide behind once they progress up to here, or maybe even something for the enemies to hide behind if they're in the office back there to get them a little bit closer to the player without being completely vulnerable and exposed. I would have liked to have had some more objects out here, but it didn't happen. It's okay. Um, and then we obviously had these two walls that separated our room, and with these crates that were also some objects that I felt kind of added to that factory or warehouse type setting. Um, so they don't have any physics attached to them because I wanted them to be stationary. I didn't want them to be able to be bounced around and stuff because I felt like that could have opened up the level a little bit more than I had planned. Um, so with that, it kind of forces this player into this little bottlenecked spot that enemies could be on both sides, um, adding a kind of an element of surprise there, unlike that first section. But once you get into the second section, there's a few more objects over here than the other, more directional to kind of help guide the player to specific areas on this side. That way they just can't kind of run to the end. Right here is a mound of uh, rubble or something that could help foliage grow. That's why I put these little bushes here. Next, we have our 2x4s that some enemies have put up to kind of help protect themselves from whatever it is that's coming their way, kind of like the player or whatever. Then there's a bench there. I thought that was kind of a neat little added object that didn't have to be created in a sense of and gives off that sense of maybe desperation from the enemy or the opponents as far as just putting things up to keep things out. Here's a couple sheets of plywood or boards to kind of theme out that warehouse or factory type setting. Same thing right here with this metal this big old sheet of steel maybe that they may have put up for cover, and then over here it's kind of open again, but I felt like the pillars added enough, just enough cover to kind of keep it interesting, where they might be able to like pop out, hide behind it, pop out, and they could progress up diagonally or however they felt necessary. Here's another sheet of wood on the floor, kind of keeping with that factory or warehouse type setting. Same thing with this door that kind of looks like it may have been propped up by somebody to be used as cover or something. I don't know how well that works since most of it's glass, but whatever. That's why they're bad guys. Don't really think things through all the way. Same thing with the bench. I felt like you could put some enemies in here, and they might stick something right outside the door, just as kind of some added cover. And then there's the room, in which would be the end of the level, or onto the next maybe mini level, to complete a chapter, or however it would be processed. But I like the red light on the table. I felt like it was a good way to signal the player that's where they needed to be. Kind of has like that dangerous, mysterious kind of vibe to it. And then we have like our little round table with the chairs. Maybe some bad guys are just hanging out, plotting their next evil plan. And then if you look really closely right here, it almost looks like a shadow of something, but it's actually like a crystal statue that was part of the starter pack assets, or props as they call it, in the Unreal 4 engine. I was hoping it would be a little bit more predominant than that, but I guess that's just how that turned out. And then here is our exiting door, and would eventually just put a box trigger here that once the player stepped into it, or maybe interacted with the handle, that it would either could go to a cutscene or start on to the next step. Here, let's back out of this now. And then over here, the world outliner got really crazy really quick, and I knew that was something to be aware of and keep conscious about, but kind of lost it. Oops. Let's see. There we go. Okay. The reason why is because each one of these boxes, or the one box, my template, I made from scratch. It's just a cube with some other pieces around it to make it look like it has kind of like a metalish frame, and then it has the 4 corners, or the 8 corners, I guess you should say. And so I was unaware that once I grouped all of those together, that when I copied it, it made duplicates of every piece. I thought it would just be a singular object once I grouped them, but that was wrong. So that was one of the reasons why it got this world outliner got out of hand super fast, and I tried to put it back together and get it all organized by creating some folders and getting everything put back. But with the project time and everything, it was the least on my priority list, so that got kind of left behind. I really wanted to add a second level, or like a mezzanine, something to kind of give the player some height options. I know it is flat. There's would have kind of liked to have some more objects over here, like I said earlier, but was actually kind of pleased about how it turned out in the end. There's obviously a lot of changes that or not changes, but some additions that I'd like to make, but that's it. If you have any questions, comments, compliments, complaints, just feel free to hit me up, email me, or whatever. I'm open and would love any